Hi everybody, Jake here. You know, the counseling exam is hard enough. I should know. I took it twice. Failed the first time, studied my butt off with 150 pages of notes for the second time, and passed with 12 points over the minimum. So here are 7 ways I've learned that you can outsmart the counseling exam. Let's go! Number 1, OCD versus OCPD. OCD, we all know, is obsessive compulsive disorder and is categorized by someone who has thought spirals in their mind, and so they use repetitive actions to quiet those thoughts. One example of this is repetitive hand washing. OCPD, on the other hand, is obsessive compulsive personality disorder, and this is categorized by someone who is so obsessed with perfectionism that it actually holds them back. One example of this is someone who is spending too much time considering just the right doctor to go to that they don't end up making an appointment. Someone who has OCPD is usually much less self-aware than someone who has OCD. Number 2, social anxiety versus agoraphobia. Both of these are about feeling anxious in social situations. The difference is that agoraphobia is the fear of being trapped in case you start to feel panicky and not being able to get out, like not wanting to go inside a moving car, or not wanting to sit in the middle aisle of a movie theater or inside a restaurant booth. Social anxiety is about not wanting to be negatively evaluated or judged by others. Number 3, acute stress disorder, adjustment disorder, and PTSD. They're all stresses that occur from an initial triggering event. The difference is that acute stress disorder has an event that happened a short time ago, like a month ago or less. Adjustment disorder has a triggering event that happened between a month ago and 6 months ago. And PTSD has an event that happened between 6 months ago and longer. Number 4, dependent personality disorder versus borderline personality disorder. Now, both of these are based on the fear of abandonment. The difference is that dependent personality disorder is characterized by someone being very clingy and foregoing their own opinion just so they can get along and gain acceptance by others. Someone with borderline personality disorder sort of balances between mid-level neurosis and mid-level psychosis. They are very reactive, they're very intense, their opinion about someone can go from being very favorable one minute to very negative the next minute, and they also have low-level paranoia. Number 5, bipolar 1 versus bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 is categorized by having 1 week of mania next to a long bout of depression. Mania, the effects of that look like the effects of cocaine, to be honest. Grandiosity, very talkative, high energy, goal-directed, irritability. Bipolar 2 looks like depression next to something less than that kind of mania. Maybe the duration doesn't quite last as long as a week, or maybe it has fewer symptoms, or the symptoms are less intense. Number 6, oppositional defiant disorder, conduct disorder, disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, and intermittent explosive disorder. A parent walks into your office and says, "My kid is impossible to control." Which of these 4 things does this kid have? Well, if the kid has oppositional defiant disorder, then they are opposing authority and acting out with any authority figures. If they have conduct disorder, then they are bullying other kids and maybe abusing animals. If they have disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, they have big violent outbursts generally at all times. And if they have intermittent explosive disorder, then they are an adult who has the same traits as a kid with disruptive mood dysregulation disorder, big violent outbursts. And finally, number 7, depression with anxiety versus anxiety with depression. Which is the diagnosis and which is the specifier? Which is the burger and which is the topping? You need at least 6 criteria to have the burger, the diagnosis. You can have at least 2 criteria and have a specifier, a topping. 2 criteria gives you a mild specifier, 3 criteria gives you a moderate specifier, and 4 or 5 criteria gives you a moderate severe specifier. But if you have 6 criteria, then get ready, it's time for a diagnosis. And I'm going to open up my trusty notes here to help me with these 6 criteria that will help us determine if a person has anxiety. If they have big uncontrollable worry, restlessness, muscle tension, can't concentrate, fear of the future, fear of losing self-control, and irritability. Those are 6 very important criteria of anxiety. For depression, these are criteria that will nail down a depression diagnosis, hopelessness, low mood, low energy, changes in sleep and appetite, loss of interest, low self-esteem, and irritability. There you go. Those are 7 ways you can outsmart the counseling exam. Me, I needed 150 pages of notes to do it. Hopefully this video is one drop in the bucket for you. Good luck. Let's make the world better together.